Good evening and welcome. This is our Monday, April 25, 2016 edition of the Government News Brief. In the news, today is World Malaria Day. A new malaria pilot program targets minors in Madhya. GWI intervenes to help drought-affected Region 9 and relief on the way for Mara residents. Stay tuned for the details of these and other stories. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan and this is the Government News Brief. An intervention by the Gyne Water Incorporated will see residents in drought-affected Region 9 being supported to manage their water situation. Here is that story.
The GWI will provide training and relevant materials and tools for persons within the respective villages to assist in monitoring the water situation. These persons will be paid through the village councils. GWI's Chief Executive Officer, Richard Van West Charles, explains.
We have agreed that the need for aggressive maintenance of our systems in the villages is one that requires our attention. And during the discussion with the two shouts, we've come to an agreement that in each village we would establish a contract. GWI will establish a contract with the two shouts and the village councils. They will identify somebody who will do the maintenance of the systems, both the photovoltaic and the distribution systems.
This decision was taken recently during a 4-day outreach in Region 9 to assess the aftermath of El Nino weather pattern. El Nino has been affecting the region since about mid last year. GWI officers were accompanied by those from the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs. The team also met with indigenous leaders from North and South Rupununi who raised concerns of water supply and quality and communication between the residents and the staff.
This is a region that is wide and presents many challenges in terms of servicing the area. However, we are seeking to ensure that we can provide better service to the population and assist in the growth and development of the region.
The GWI, in collaboration with the Brazilian Army, the United Nations Development Programme, the Society for Sustainable Operational Strategies, and the Region 9 administration, are drilling a number of wells throughout the region. These will lessen the challenges in sourcing potable water in the dry periods. For the Government News Brief, Sinika Thorne reporting.
Miners in mining camps in Madhya Region 8 are the target of a new malaria pilot program in keeping with this year's vaccination observance theme to end malaria for good. Here are the details.
The program, which caters for training of miners in the testing and the treatment of malaria, was launched by the Ministry of Public Health's Vector Control Service in Madhya on Sunday at the Campbelltown Benab. Coordinator of the pilot program, Kwesi Grant, explains.
We know that as the mining activities increase, we've noticed this trend over the years, that as the mining activities increase, there's also an increase in malaria, and as the mining activities decrease, there's a decrease in malaria. So with this pilot project, strategically targeting the miners, we're hoping that this will put Guyana on the map in being among the countries who will be able to move towards elimination by 2030.
Madhya is one of the areas with low malaria vaccination coverage, and Public Health Minister Dr. George Norton is optimistic that this will change with the new pilot program.
Region 8 is one of our most vulnerable areas as it relates to the vaccination program, with vaccination coverage that is below the target, a fact that the ministry plans to change this year. And I can tell you, with this program, with this start that we're having here, I can assure you that we will do everything to make certain that we complete that task.
The program was launched in observation of Vaccination Week 2016. It is one of the largest multinational events with countries within the Latin America and Caribbean participating, accounting for the vaccination of over 400 million persons within the region over the last 12 years. The undertaking is also in keeping with the ministry's effort to support the Pan American Health Organization's work to eliminate malaria in Guyana and at least 29 other countries by 2030.
Residents of Mara, East Bank, Berbice, Region 6 will soon be relieved of an age-old problem. Here is a look at what's planned.
The deplorable state of the main access road to the Mara village on the east bank of Berbice has been an issue plaguing the community for many years. During the Meet the Public exercise in Region 6 last weekend, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu met with the Mara residents.
I have good news. I was told that a contract will soon be executed for the Mara Road and that you will have major works done to fix it in a way that people find it accessible.
The Prime Minister explained to Gyne that the residents complained that for years they have been promised that the road would be fixed, but they have waited in vain.
A serious attempt is being made not to do cosmetic work, because what they were seeing before in the former government, that every time a president would come and the entourage would roll into Mara, Highbury and all those areas, that the road would be graded very quickly, and then after the next rainfall you have all these potholes and other mud holes and all the other different type of holes on the road. So I think that we need to find a definitive solution for it.
Additionally, under the Region 6 2016 work program is the construction of a healthcare center at Mara to the tune of $14.3 million. For this government news brief, Namila Baines-Rowe.
Protection of children's rights will be one of the areas of focus at the upcoming Hague Convention conference scheduled for July right here in Guyana. Here is that story.
The Hague Convention Conference will provide legal practitioners with the authoritative legal framework with which family and children matters should be addressed.
It's a conference on international law, private international law, family law, especially dealing with cross-border countries. And the family law aspects include like adoption, abduction, where people kidnap children and leave one jurisdiction and come home. And so there are things about different aspects of family law, maintenance and the like.
The Conference on Family Law can strengthen the justice system by examining ways in which the laws of cross-border countries can be unified.
Attendees would be judges, members of the Bar Association, judges in the region. That conference will be declared open by the President of Ghana, Brigadier David Granger. We are supposed to have working sessions. The venue would be the Pegasus Hotel. And there would be a culture night for the attendees.
The conference, which is co-hosted by the Hague Convention, is substantially funded by the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF.
We're supposed to have a judge that is appointed in this connection. And that judge is like a focal point in Ghana. And that judge would relate to other focal point judges around the world. So if a problem arises, say in America, the Guyanese focal point judge could contact the focal point judge in America, and they would explain the situation over there in relation to the law affecting whatever issue it was.
The government of Guyana is examining the likelihood of signing on to the Hague Convention to ensure justice in a wider range of family-related issues is served. Government News Brief, Glendon Greenwich.
With just a few more weeks to the 50th Golden Jubilee celebrations, calls continue across the country for citizens to join in the celebrations.
Patriotism is being encouraged throughout Guyana as the May 26 celebration approaches. Mrs. Sita Nagamutu, wife of Prime Minister and Acting President Moses Nagamutu, encouraged Irish villagers to be patriotic and join in the grand celebrations. She was at the time speaking to her fellow villagers to celebrate Irish Village Day last Saturday.
If we can be proud of being villagers, why are we not equally proud of being nationalists or being Guyanese, irrespective of which village, district, region, or county we came from? As villagers, we are children born from one common mother, Guyana. So, on this year of our Golden Jubilee, let us celebrate our Guyanese-ness.
Mrs. Nagamoto applauded the community for its accomplishments and encouraged the villagers to work together for the country's good.
Villagers, I am proud of you. I embrace you and all other villagers as we equal. And I hope that we can cooperate, as the song says, for the good of Guyana. On another note, we all have a duty to make our Guyana proud of us. In this regard, villagers must ensure that our youths pursue an education and not abandon the worthless lives of crime, drugs, prostitution, or suicide.
The event was promoted by the Irish Cortland No. 1 Association. According to its president, Megan Lambert, the association was formed over 16 years ago by Mary Joy Harris. Its main focus areas are health, education, and sports. The villagers and members of the community entertained the audience with dances and physical displays, in addition to national songs performed by the Kofona Drum Corporation. Renetta LaFleur, Government News Brief.
More corporate sponsorship with Singers Guyana, Digicel and Banks DIH on board for Jubilee celebrations. With 32 days to go before the May 26 Jubilee Independence celebrations, Banks Beer has been named the official beer for the Jubilee. We have come to the end of this edition of the Government News Brief. You can find the details of these and other stories on Gyne's website. We encourage you to subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. You can also like and follow us on Facebook so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. Thank you for watching.